What's going on, everyone? It's the end of week 4 already. We're into the first month of the season is already done. That's actually crazy. So here's our week 4 review. The Cowboys on Wednesday beat the Giants, not by much, right? It was 20-16. But the Cowboys got back going, and the Giants stopped scoring touchdowns. So the Cowboys looked okay, not great, but okay. The Falcons beating the Saints, not necessarily a surprise. The Saints, the last 2 weeks now, have stopped really being that explosive offense that they started out as. And the Falcons looked pretty good. Pretty good. The Bengals beat the Panthers, which isn't necessarily a surprise, but they did score a lot. It took them a minute to get going, but once they did, I thought the Bengals looked really good. Are they back? They have to be consistent. Joe Burrow especially has to be consistent. They got to run the ball more, right? It's going to set up Jamar Chase, who is absolutely fantastic. So I think they just need to be more consistent before I buy in on them. The Bears get a win over the injury-ridden Rams. But the Bears, hey, look, a win is a win in this league, period, right? It's hard to win in the NFL. And the Bears got one, Caleb Williams got one, and now they're off the block and running. The Vikings are looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, hands down, period. So they beat the Packers, and they did it not necessarily convincingly. They almost gave it away at the end. Prevent defense doesn't necessarily work for them, maybe, but they got another win. They're undefeated. They're one of only 2 teams that are undefeated, them and the Chiefs. The Colts beat the Steelers. The Steelers are bad offensively. We knew that last week when they barely beat the Chargers. The Steelers are not good on offense. They play ugly football, and it finally came back to bite them in the butt. Now, the Colts, I don't know how long, we haven't had any injury reports yet. Anthony Richardson went out with a concussion. How long is he going to be in protocol? What's he going to be? And, what's that going to look like? Somehow the Broncos beat the Jets. The Jets forgot how to football. Robert Saleh has to be on the hot seat at this point. You cannot lose to a Broncos team that is not good. The Broncos are not good. And the Jets gave one away, and they gave one away at home. So, Buccaneers and Eagles. A lot of you got after me for this pick. Well, guess what? I was right. The Bucs look fantastic. The Eagles are in trouble. The Commanders over the Cardinals, big. The Commanders lead the NFC East. No one saw that coming. If you did, you're lying to yourself, right? And Jaden Daniels looks like a clear rookie of the year at this point. We're only a month in. There's still a lot of football left to be played. But if we were voting today, that's who's getting my vote, period. He looked fantastic. They're running the ball well. Yeah, they look good. They got to stay consistent. Those rookie moments are going to come for Jaden Daniels, and how the Commanders overcome those is going to be, is going to determine how well they do for the rest of the season. 49ers beat the Patriots. Not necessarily a surprise. Brock Purdy looked really good again. The Patriots are in that rebuilding phase. They just happen to look really good the first 2 weeks of the season, at least on defense. And they've kind of come back down to earth the last 2 weeks, and that's okay. They are rebuilding. There's nothing wrong with that. And the 49ers did what they were supposed to do. Chargers and Chiefs. The Chargers, yes, I am a Chargers fan, almost won that game that they had no business being in. And now Rice is hurt. They're saying it's a torn ACL. They're still doing additional tests. Either way, look, the Chiefs have been winning, and they've been winning ugly. And that's okay. With the talent they have, a lot of people say they use the regular season as the preseason. No, the regular season is too long, and you have to win games to put yourself in a position to win games. They finally got Kelsey going, right? He had almost 100 yards receiving. He didn't score, but they still have that Patrick Mahomes guy. So their ugly winning is way different than a team like the Steelers because they have the talent offensively to turn the switch on, and they're the champs. So somehow the Raiders win a football game against the Browns. I did tell you guys I thought this one might be close. I think the Raiders are a bad football team. I now officially think the Browns are a bad football team. They should have kept Baker Mayfield, right? No one watched that football game. And if you did, you're either a Browns or a Raiders fan, and you probably felt bad watching it. So the Raiders win. Somehow the Raiders are 2-2. It's literally baffling to me. But hey, they won. I didn't put my W on there. I guess it didn't save right. But the Bills got their butts kicked by the Ravens, and the Ravens finally look like the Ravens. The Ravens look like what a lot of people thought they would look like from week one, right? They got Derrick Henry going. Lamar looked great. And they ran over what a lot of people were saying the first 3 weeks, myself included, the best team in football. The Bills were widely seen as the best team in football, and they got their butts kicked. So, and that might not be a bad thing for the Bills. They could look at it and say, hey, we got some stuff to work on. That's another AFC team, right? We have to work on stuff. So the Ravens looked absolutely fantastic. The Bills now officially have work to do. They better get it together if they want to creep back up into those rankings. The Titans and the Dolphins. Everyone was saying the Dolphins were going to win this game. I think on DraftKings, it was like 78% of bets were for the Dolphins. I'm like, what? Look, there's one position in football that makes the biggest difference. All positions matter except for kickers. Kickers suck. They're terrorists. I hate kickers. Okay? And that's the quarterback position, right? Everyone's like, oh, Huntley's going to come in and they're going to ball out. They're going to get Tyreek Hill the ball. Yeah. He had 4 catches. Come on. Look, Will Levis got hurt and the Titans got better. I mean, I think Mason Rudolph is probably going to be the starter for the Titans on their next game. The Titans got to win, and they look pretty good doing it. They're really good defensively, especially against the run. They are tough to run against. The Lions and the Seahawks, that game last night was absolutely crazy. I'm recording this on Tuesday. I'll release this on Tuesday. So it was, so I watched both those games last night, but mostly Lions and Seahawks. That game was nuts. Jared Goff went 18 for 18 with 3 touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. That's crazy. Jared Goff balled out, and the Seahawks didn't look bad. I mean, like, that wasn't a terrible loss for the Seahawks, right? Who I believe they're overachieving, and that's okay. That's a good thing, right? But man, that game was fun. That's what football should look like. There were some weird flags. There were some no flags that should have been thrown. DK Metcalf in the end zone, especially. They also didn't give him a 2-point conversion where it looked like he was down with the ball, right? It looked like his leg was down with the ball. So the refs are going to ref, right? Like, that's just going to happen. But overall, I thought it was a great week in the league. I did okay with my picks. Let me know how you guys did down in the comments. Let me know how you guys like these reviews. And I will see you guys next time, week 5 next week. Oh, one last thing. Remember our charity, okay? Stack Up. It's a veterans charity that helps veterans with their mental health through gaming. They do gaming care packages, okay? And they do gaming trips for veterans and even their families. I will leave the link down in the description. Thanks, guys.